I gotta pick up my headphones first. That's right. There we go. Well, welcome to Learn to Unlearn, episode 13, the next chapter. Yes, we're calling this the next chapter for a good reason, because um, this is going to be different. You have good days and you have bad days. Well, I'm forcing myself today to do this, even though I said to myself, you shouldn't because you don't feel very good and it might not be a good idea. But I said to myself, no, I'm going to do it anyway, just because, first of all, it's going to make me feel good. It's going to get me chippered up, and also because it's important. Why are we calling this the next chapter? For a very good reason. I had to find a short title because it's better that way. Roger likes it that way when I get a short title, because if the title is too long, you just kind of lose people's interest, and uh, it's very, very hard to be able to put a title on something when it changes all the time too. This is Learn to Unlearn, and I wanted to welcome everybody to episode 13. And yes, I do have to read a little bit, and I'm going to try and do my best to do this. Um, this is following the last episode where I spoke again about healing from within and creating balance. And very important, just remember this line: leaving the energy vampires, the drama, the toxic people behind the closed door, preferably. Okay, and I want to go a step further than that and share something different in this episode. The next level, the next chapter. It's the next level because it's consciousness, and we have to remember that we have to honor and respect the fact that everybody grows at their own speed, at their own rate, at their own capability of understanding the world around them, the realization of their own growth, whatever, in their own time. Just like you can't tell a baby to what is it? You can't convince a baby that's crawling to walk. It makes perfect sense to me. Some people might be rolling their eyes. Some people might be going, "Yeah, I heard that. When I was 23 and I'm over 40. Can we get on with it?" Some people may not have even heard of this. It's the magic of personal growth, and it's for you, and for you only. And if it works for you, then if it resonates for you, then do it for you and get good at it, and then share. That's what this is. That's what this show is all about. That's what I'm here for right now, is to share this stuff. And it gets quite entangled. It's pretty complicated to get through all this. So we're doing it. We're happening. My story begins um, that morning at 3:15 in the morning. Okay, so take that and put that aside for a second. What Dr. Bruce Lipton tells us, mind-blowing 10 minutes of a video. And I'm sharing the images of my Facebook and also of him, and a post of mine where I share his message, one of many. Um, Dr. Lipton speaks of something coming right at the right time. Obviously, you know how the Zen proverb says, or whatever it's called, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. This is just like that. This happened all of a sudden, right in my lap. It's the spirit that's coming to somebody who's asking, who's understanding in prayer, which is, what I really tried to do. In meditation, we should do this more often in whatever language and whatever spirit calls for you. Some people like red, like a red cloth. Some people like their cross. Some people like the rosaries. Some people like the drum, like the one behind me. You sit quietly and you pray and you ask, what can I do to become aware? What can I do to grow and to be able to heal? So, all I want to do is heal from within, which is what has to be done. The only way out is in, pretty much, like I love saying. Leaving the energy vampires and the drama and the toxic people behind that closed door, right? Which is what I just said. That is where my healing began slowly and quietly as I laid out and stretched out most of the time in the lazy boy. I knew I was healing. Um, and that was November 19th, to be exact, the last time I had a blood clot come out. Okay. And this is why I have very little energy right now, because of what's going on. All of a sudden, it's like try to imagine what a baby feels as he's inside the baby's inside the womb and hears the violent and abusive husband or spouse and his actions and the vibrations against his mother. It's the same thing. Our bodies go through the same process. So I'm proof of this right now. And as I show on my Facebook page in public to try and educate people, um, my experience of quiet healing versus total trauma and chaos. Not since November have I experienced, what I'm experiencing now is the blood clots coming back. And it's been 4 days straight of fighting off the destructive forces of what I call confrontational anxieties. Last time this happened to me, I developed a huge pocket of water on the inside of my left knee. Um, I just, I'm one of those people that have a hard time um, dealing with what people would call confrontation, or you're trying to be a good person. You try and undress yourself as much as you can, like they say in French. You try and take off the layers of yourself, take your mask off. You try and become the best you can be in every way. Um, you tend to really be very vulnerable to stuff like that. So when people end up martyring you, or you end up doing things that end up attracting attention to you, it can get rough, which is what happened for about a week. So that's when all of it came back. Um, the stress, the emotional trauma, it does it every time. And watching the Lipton video, it's like it was meant for me. And then he talks about the placebo, nocebo, the effect. And we're going to talk about that when we come back. Welcome back again. I got to get through this. We're talking about the placebo and the nocebo effect. I knew about the placebo effect. Most people do. The effect of something working when it's positive. Somebody tells you, they give you a pill, could be anything, a sugar pill or whatever, and they tell you that it's going to heal you, and you believe that it's going to heal you, and you take it, and you are healed, literally. Um, in the same power that positive thinking can heal you, negative thinking can kill you, period. And then there's the killer below, okay? It says in the article, I'm stating it as well, I'm writing it out. Negative thinking can literally create the effects of chemotherapy. Can you believe that? When I read that, I knew what my show was going to be about. When I heard that, because I had subtitles on the bottom too, so I really read that at the same time as I heard it. I knew that was going to be this show, so here it is. And I'm giving you a link as well to the particularly mind-blowing session of 10 minutes. Um, it's important to go through these things because we have to really pay attention to stuff that's around us, okay? And um, no, the blood clots haven't stopped, um, but I notice it's consistent with the anxiety that I'm going through, or whatever comes in from outside forces, whatever. Okay, like I'll give you another example that got thrown into my lap. See, this is Creator giving you teachings, giving you choices. You can either get into it, get all embroiled into what you got to get embroiled in, and squeeze it tight and just make a big deal out of it and go public with it, and your heart's pumping like crazy, and that'll kill you, that'll destroy you. Or be wise and push it away. And I guess I'm not wise enough yet. So it's I'm not saying I'm going out and I'm doing what I just described, but it's um, I realized what it could be. I mean, blood clots like that just wow, you turn around, you know, the toilet bowl's red, just like before. It's like the message came back. You want to live like that? You want to go through that stress again? That's what the last 2 or 3 days were, because it's your digestive system is what, 10 to 12 hours, 8 to 10 hours. Some people, it's different for everybody. And I literally look at that now and I'm thinking, yeah, that's what my body went through in that period of time, that stress. I'll even throw a joke in here because I remember saying to myself, literally, I said it out loud, oh, I hope my cancer doesn't come back, because I remember my stomach was like that. It was like, taking your skin and twisting it. That's what it felt like, the insides of your stomach when you're going through stress like that from outside forces. When you find out that people are doing stuff that they shouldn't be. And, I don't need to say it here, but I would love to give an example of what I'm talking about, but I don't need to call people out in particular at this time, because it's not relevant to the show nor to healing. And I really do have to stay quiet and stay away from it. So it's a mind-blowing experience. I just wanted to throw that in, and I'll make it a short video so that we can get into editing and showing pictures. And I love everybody, and have a good day and week, and we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for listening. And I know it makes sense, because if it didn't, I wouldn't be recording it or letting it go out. So this does have my signature on it, and I'm standing by everything I'm saying. Just don't believe me. Do your research, as we always say. Learn to unlearn everything. Question everything. Thank you for watching.